the big one. Welcome back. In the big one tonight, the Supreme Court has granted an injunction application by the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA, seeking to stay the implementation of Content Standards Regulation 2015, requiring media owners to seek content approval from the National Media Commission, NMC, before publication. A unanimous decision by a 7-member panel of judges authorized the NMC to freeze the implementation of the law, LI 2224. The law would have required media houses in the country to submit a document of their program lineup to the Commission for approval before broadcasting until the final determination of the case is reached. The Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA, filed a suit challenging the constitutionality of the NMC's new law. Some of the regulations, according to GIBA, were inconsistent with the 1992 Constitution, which guarantees unfettered media freedom. The Content Standards Regulation 2015 also entreats all radio and television stations to seek content authorization from the NMC before airing a particular program, or in default, pay a fine or serve between 2 and 5 years in jail. That was a pretty tough law, but we are lucky the GIBA has won the court case and stayed the execution. Let's do some analysis on this. Kwesi Ajimai is president of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us on News at 10.
Good evening, Stephen, and good evening to viewers.
I know this has come a long way, especially as the 1992 Constitution guaranteed freedom of expression and freedom for media houses to operate without securing the need to secure a license. So how do you refer to this case? Is it a win for press freedom, or you would say is a cautious win which we shouldn't be quick to celebrate?
Yes, thank you, Stephen. I think we shouldn't be too quick to celebrate because the substantive case is still pending. This was just to ensure that whilst we wait for the NMC, the Attorney General's office, to file their motions in response to our earlier claim, we were not caught flat-footed. So to that extent, I would say we've won the first phase of the battle, but there's still a long way to go. And
right.
And so we look forward to the battle in court.
I can imagine that. I mean, let's, for the benefit of our viewers, go back to the real reasons why you went to court in the first place to seek the Supreme Court authority to strike out this law. What were you concerned about? That this law will stifle press freedom, or perhaps will be subtly introducing elements of acquisition, need to acquire a license before operation? What were your fears?
A few things got us worried. I mean, we are for a sanitized system, so it's not a fight against content regulation per se. But there are certain aspects of the LI that we found inconsistent with the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. One of them being the need to seek prior authorization for content before you could put it out there. It was a little bit ambiguous. Do we now go and get authorization for a whole month? And if there was breaking news, for example, how will it be treated? All those matters were not very clear. Now, if you take the issue of criminality, where one of the clauses said that if you went against the regulation, you could be fined or even imprisoned. That for us was also a problem. So to the extent where prior authorization we felt was censorship, and the issue of criminalizing media work, which the Constitution frowns upon, we thought it wise to go there and seek interpretation. But we are not, and I have to repeat, we are not against sanitizing the system or seeking for people to do the right thing. We just feel that the mother law of the country is the Constitution of Ghana. So everything that anybody is doing, we have to refer back to the Constitution. And until a time when we probably have a constitutional review, this is the Constitution that we're working with, and we all have to abide by its tenets.
I will be getting onto the telephone lines to speak to a lawyer, private legal practitioner, to discuss some of these legal issues any further. But let me ask you, I know that with the repeal of the criminal libel law, there were a lot of Ghanaians, including myself, who were hopeful of how the media now had a lot of freedom to work without fear of going to jail for expressing a view. Were you concerned also that the issue of criminality in that law was gradually or maybe subtly introducing back into our statutes the criminal libel law?
I wouldn't say it's a reintroduction of the criminal libel law, but we were worried with the fact that assuming somebody, I mean, if you take the offense, what will be that offense? The offense of the person not seeking prior authorization before a broadcast. Well, is that an offense given our history and given where we are in our democracy? Is it an offense that warrants an imprisonment? So that is what we're worried about. I mean, we don't want to play along with words, whether it's a criminal libel law or whatever it is. But certainly, criminalizing media practice is something that we as broadcasters are worried about.
Obviously. Yeah. Obviously, Mr. Akwasi Agyeman, before I let you go, I know that election is around the corner, and one of the arguments
we have a code of conduct. We do a lot of capacity building workshops. We've done about 3 already. We are going to introduce a specific code for this election somewhere in June. And so we will try as much as possible to educate our members. But we feel that looking at where we are as a country and all the factors that are at play, there's a need for a sit-down and a thorough discussion on the media landscape, where we are and where we want it to be. Because we can't just continue. I mean, if you look at a country like Ghana, where we have almost 400 radio stations, how is the regulator even able to monitor? And so you can preach as much as you can, but at the end of the day, if there are no proper regimes, and we don't look at it in terms of, for example, the economic climate, how many media houses can the economy support? You will have businesses that are not able to strive, and so what they do is people become mercenaries, and that's what is happening. And so we need to really take a wider look at the whole factors: NCA, NMC, GIBA, GJA, the Ministry of Communication. All of us, we need to sit down and see how we want to play around this industry.
Right, Mr. Akwasi Agyeman, thanks very much. Mr. Akwasi Agyeman is president of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association of Ghana, GIBA, which has won a preliminary injunction to stay the implementation of a new law which they found to be against the tenets of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. My name is Stephen Enti, and this is the big one.